All right, so we're going to get started. Bob, mic's good? All right. Good morning. I can't tell you how excited I am to finally come together and get started. This is incredible. I think everyone knows me. If you don't, I'm Peter Burrows. I'm your new superintendent. So you were all sitting by school. I want to see, as students do, you know, like when seniors, juniors all compete at assemblies. This is just not on the script, but it makes sense to do. Where is the high school? Pierce? That was a little louder. Nice. How about Tucker? Is Glover in the house? Collicott? And Cunningham. They pulled out the wave. I like it. So before we get started with presentations, speeches, etc., we're going to do a couple things, a couple activities. First thing, you can change the slide. Wanted to give you a chance to connect. I know you were talking with a bunch of people, but maybe find someone you haven't talked to yet. Turn to a partner. Talk about these two questions. How has education shaped you as a person? And what personal goal do you have for this school year? So we're going to take about 5 minutes. All right. Finish your thought. I went online and found all those photos. Some were harder than others. So before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge our Milton School Committee members, some of whom are in attendance, whose leadership, as you know, is critical to our student success. From left to right, Lizzie Carroll, Chair, Selena Miranda, Vice Chair, Beverly Ross Denny, Anna Varghese, Mark Loring, and Bao Chu. School committee members, if you are here, could you stand up to be recognized? I'd also like to acknowledge another special guest, my mom, who came up from Martha's Vineyard to attend this morning. She was a longtime educator on the Vineyard and helped to instill in me a life of real service. So, thanks, Mom. You honestly never stop being 10. So we're going to try something kind of unusual. I think this will work. I debated back and forth whether we could pull this off. I think we can. We are going to play a rock, paper, scissors game for the entire assemblage here. So I need a couple people to come up to the stage so I can show you how this works. So do you want to come up? Do you want to come up too? So you're going to need to get out of your seat to do this. You can't do it sitting down. And the idea is to kind of get our blood going here. So if I'm competing against Will, okay, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay. So he beat me. Now I am cheering for him. Okay? I'm his fan. So when he needs to then find someone else who also is a winner from another two, right? They then compete. I'm going to be cheering, go Will, go Will. And he's going to be competing against Zena, who just won her duo, right? Exactly. And then the winner of this one, then we're all following Will if Will wins, right? Are people following me? Yes. Okay, good. So you're going to need to enter into these kinds of spaces, right? It's hard to do this sitting down. If it's hard for you to move around, you can compete from where you are and people can come to you, all right? The final winner, the final two will come up to the stage and the winner does get a prize. So what you can do now is stand up, enter into open space, and go. Is that it? Is that it? Okay, the winner should come up to the stage. Okay. All right. I'll just wait. I'll just wait till people.
Okay, sure.
All right, so Mita is the winner of a gift card to Novara. Here you go. All right, congratulations. Yeah. I'm actually shocked that that worked. Thank you for engaging in that. So here is our agenda for today's program. We're going to be spending the next hour or so. I'll be speaking, and then we've got Lizzie, Brendan, and Garth coming up and sharing a few words with all of you. Before we proceed, I do want to thank a few people who helped put this on, and you'll see when we leave here afterwards and the amazing setup outside for the second half of this morning's festivities. A couple people I just wanted to recognize in relation to that. Stephanie O'Keefe and Charlene Roach. Our incredible custodians. And the battalion of people that joined them in putting together this event by offering their services, setting up and bringing in all the equipment, donating food, and just being awesome. So thank you to everybody who's helped. So first, I want to thank all of you deeply for the welcome that I've experienced over the last, I guess it's 7 months or so, which has been nothing short of full-on inspirational. I've shared in previous communications my sense of Milton over the spring, but the last few months have really driven home just what makes this community special. I had the opportunity to speak to this recently when I visited Fuller Village to talk with residents there about my entry and how I was approaching the work. One of the participants asked me why Milton and how I was finding it. I told her that I found my entry to be revelatory. Just got a wasp that joined me. That wasn't as revelatory as Milton has been, but I was in this conversation and I sat there for a few quiet moments, and you have your normal response to a question like that. But it like hit me in a certain way, and kind of felt like I was moved as I was thinking about what made it so special. And I finally continued and said that I see something unique here in the way that people are tied to community and what they bring to our schools. There are strong feelings for sure, and a desire to change things right now in this way or that way that may make it look like there is divergence. And yet at the core of this community is a real substrata of strength and conviction and heart that I have seen throughout the many conversations I've had with people from all corners of our town. And when you look at what the community has stepped up to do to support schools, all of you, our students and parents, community members, select board, PTOs, school committee, MFE, boosters, the list is too long to cover here. But when you look at it, it really is awe-inspiring. And you see that when you come from the outside in. So I feel like I have that perspective in a way that some of you may not. And it shows without any doubt that there is great love in this community for taking care of each other and our students. There's so much to say. I wanted to start out in my first year here by sharing with you all a little bit about who I am that may not have come across in my resume and interviews, but that I feel is important to share as you entrust me with this most important position of leading our schools. It's interesting to think back and trace the path of decisions that got you to this moment right now. I feel so absolutely where I'm supposed to be. I entered education out of college not totally sure what I wanted to do, but knowing that I loved working with others, loved language and words, and that I wanted to give back in some way, and I wanted it to be big. As I did my first student teaching in an ESL class at a community college, I knew that I needed to get overseas. I did volunteer work in Africa and India and embarked on a many-year journey in other countries that shaped me in profound ways as a learner and a person. I never would have seen some of the intense cultural calcification that had taken root if I hadn't been challenged in the ways that I was living in other cultures. And I wouldn't have learned if I hadn't opened myself up to the possibility that I may not know as much as I think I know. When I came back after that period of living overseas, I saw things differently and I think more lucidly. It helped me to see the structures and concepts I had built up around myself and has centered a deep humility in me that I hold in my life. Working in public schools has been overwhelmingly motivating as a teacher, principal, and superintendent. Every day I pine for teaching, and then I remember what Sunday feels like. But seriously, working directly with students and the transformational work that occurs, whether you are an instructional assistant, a custodian, or a teacher, is unrivaled and profound. Nothing I've done since leaving the classroom has really approached that magic. Yet I made the move to administration and became an assistant principal, and superintendent as I felt a really strong desire to create change on a larger landscape. While it took a bit for me to realize it, I found leadership work to be deeply moving and meaningful, and I've told many leaders over the years that the power of this work is in both the reach that you have to create real change for so many and the impact the work has on you individually, if you remain open to learning. It's impossible to be a strong leader if you don't do self-inquiry. My work as superintendent is helping each of you in whatever ways I can in this position, and I approach this work in the same way that I've approached any other position I have held. Support, honesty, trust, clarity, direction, and humor. We grow as a community by listening intently, speaking clearly, and taking action collectively. And I'm committed to a culture that makes space for all to be at the center of our learning community. Creating a culture where all feel they belong is at the foundation of our collective work and my work as superintendent. In order to establish a space that supports diversity, it's imperative that all of us, from teachers to administrators to support staff, have a deep understanding of how student outcomes play out based on access, history, and privilege. In order to commit to all students, we must make sure that we are not lulled into doing what has always been done. We must make sure that rigorous academic excellence and opportunity reach all students. Schools are not microcosms that exist outside of the communities within which they reside. The work of establishing schools and classrooms that center equity has to include the greater community to create real change. Bringing the community in starts with building a shared vision of what we want our school district and community to be to meet the needs of all students in our district from every corner of our town. An open and welcoming environment for all students and staff is the culture we must foster as an entire community. This fall, I'll be forming a superintendent student advisory team that I will meet with monthly. This isn't the team, this is just a picture, but it could be the team. I will meet with them monthly to help keep me real and aligned to what's actually happening and consider student perspectives when it can be all too easy to make decisions in a vacuum. I'll be working to bring student voice to the fore in our structures and systems to enable students to both experience agency and to impart their wisdom on the things that directly affect them. This includes those students who don't normally have the opportunity to participate. And I'm committed to community. I know that nothing happens unless we are all part of the direction of our district. Joint ownership and joint determination is the bedrock from which we will move forward together. We all have different roles in this organization, and each one of us needs to carry it and have a voice in the leadership of MPS. I will bring us back to this and work to design processes where we move forward together with clarity and purpose. So what are we actually doing this year? I shared my entry plan at the end of the school year, which scribes out some of the work I'll be doing over the course of the year to support all of you in helping each and every student find success in school and in their lives. The entry plan is split into 3 phases. Phase 1 is the listening and learning tour. That's the next few months. Phase 2 is consolidating my findings, and phase 3 is making sense of the direction based on those findings to provide greater structure and an implementation plan that matches the goals that the school committee has set forth in the 22-27 strategic plan. What are the 3 pillars? Yes. Rock on. Over the next months, I'll be meeting with Milton stakeholders all over town and in our schools to gather information, to listen and learn, and to gain a better understanding of some of the complexities of Milton's history, our strengths, and our opportunities. A big part of these first months will be focused on engaging all in sharing from their perspective where they see Milton Public Schools meeting our students' needs and where they see gaps. Collecting the combined voices of our community is important in a few ways. First, as we work together to figure out our direction and what we will commit to, we need to hear from all in the system of their lived experiences in MPS. And second, and equally important, is the fact that we need to bring our community together across precincts, quadrants, and schools to truly move out of status quo and towards what's possible. The last years have been divisive in ways, and the impact has been felt on our schools and our students. My hope is that providing our community with a view of where we are and the 95% of things that we all agree on for our students will help to build a more connected and unified Milton that will enable us to focus our energies together on making changes that impact all students to the greatest degree possible. I have some initial impressions that I'd like to share to provide a sense of what the work is ahead. First, we need foundational stability. Public school systems as a whole can be highly capricious and prone to mission drift due to both leadership turnover and the considerable pressures that are borne by public schools. Throughout this year, we'll be working to better understand where we are and where we need to spend more time to create a clear and consistent vision of what our work is, why it's impactful, and how we'll get there. Without this foundation and shared understanding, we won't be able to move forward. Everyone in our organization needs to understand who Milton Public Schools is, what we stand for, and how we're working to realize our objectives. 2, we need coherence. Coming into Milton as a systems thinker, I have begun to see how some of our shared directions and initiatives could be supported by structures that would provide both efficiency and shared direction. We need to see the deep complexity of our systems, from the historical realities that create our opportunity gaps to the instructional strategies that push us out of traditional sorting pedagogies. I know there are many of you here today that I've already talked to that have shared how tiring it is to work in isolation and how joyous it would be to have a shared vision for MPS that is supported by clear and consistent systems that push us to real change and real shifts in outcomes. Finally, we need collectivity. We are emerging from one of the roughest periods in recent human history, and we now have the opportunity to commit to working together towards foundational stability and coherence in ways we haven't. Being an educator, and that's everyone in our system, is one of the noblest professions and one of the hardest if you feel alone in the work. We will be spending time this year building towards collectivity in our structures, actions, and cultures that we sustain. So these are the things that we'll focus on at the district level. The real question is, what will happen in the magic of your classroom, in the halls that you clean, in the office that you sustain? How will you make this year a year that is full in all of the ways that it can be? This year, make a commitment to yourself to be intentional, not in the SMART goal kind of way of checking boxes, but in a way that is meaningful to you, both professionally and personally. This work is incredibly important, and it can be a big output of energy. You need to remember to be mindful of where you are and what you need to attend to be fully present and alive. And remember that you aren't alone. I will be consistently reminding us of this as we work together to problem solve issues, vision and plan for the future, and to build a culture that enables all within our community to be successful. The world awaits. Thank you for welcoming me so deeply into this role and this community. I can't wait to see the things we will do in the years ahead. Have a great, great year. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Dr. Lizzie Carroll, MPS School Committee Chair, to share a few words with all of you.
Good morning. Uh-oh. Sorry. I'm tall, but I'm not that tall. I'll just hold it. Thank you. All right, so first, I just want to give another round of applause for our amazing new superintendent, Dr. Burrows. And that's a tough act to follow. I'm only going to speak for a few moments, but I just want to say it's so nice to be here with you all today. Leading up to this exciting privilege of knowing I was going to get to welcome you to opening day. I've been thinking about another important opening day for me, and that was actually about 20 years ago right now. I attended my first opening day as a first-year teacher. And it happened to take place in Madison Square Garden because I started my teaching career in New York City public schools. But I'll never forget that feeling of being in that huge arena, packed with people just like me who were there to teach. And I feel chills right now because it's awesome to feel that same energy in this auditorium right now. There's nothing like a room full of people who have chosen to show up, roll up your sleeves, and make the world a better place by helping young people become the best versions of themselves. And that's what you all have chosen to do. It's humbling to see you all out filling this space. So whether this is your first year or your 40th year, or whatever year this is for you, thank you for choosing to be here today as a member of the Milton Public Schools team. I'm really proud to stand here this morning as one of your teammates, and that's as your school committee chair. I'm representing my school committee colleagues and our Milton community at large. For those that I haven't gotten to meet yet, basically the most important thing for you to know about me is that I am the mom of 2 Tucker Tigers. They are entering 4th and 1st grade this year. And I'm here wearing both my hats as an MPS parent and as a school committee member. But either way, I'm just so genuinely excited for this school year to begin. I'm joining you here to convey 2 simple but really important messages on behalf of the school committee. First, I want you to know that the school committee is in full support of Dr. Burrow's vision and entry plan. And we're already working collaboratively with him and the central office leadership team to ensure that we have a smooth transition and a strong first year with Dr. Burrows as superintendent. It seems very clear to me, and I think many others, that he's already off to an amazing start. We all know it's been a rough few years here for Milton Public Schools. So many of the challenges you've been facing are universal as we continue to recover from the pandemic in the context of political polarization and systemic inequality in this country. But it's important to acknowledge that the turnover and instability that we've experienced in Milton's central office leadership have posed additional challenges. You, our leaders, faculty, and staff have been the ones to help bring us through to this promising beginning of our next chapter in Milton Public Schools. And it feels really great to have such confidence in this next chapter, which actually literally begins today. So that's really exciting. We're so glad that you're here as our superintendent, Dr. Burrows, and we look forward as a school committee to working with you this year and doing our part as a school committee to support a successful year for everyone in Milton Public Schools. My second and most important message, because you can never hear it enough, is simply this: thank you. Whatever role you play in our district, it is a vital one. Thank you for all you are doing to prepare to welcome your students this week and next. And thank you in advance for everything that you will do to help your students and all of our students thrive this year. Our families and kids are depending on you, And even though I know it doesn't always feel this way, we deeply appreciate and do not take for granted the sacrifices you make to do this work. So on behalf of your grateful school committee and our community, I wish you all a wonderful first day and an amazing new school year ahead. Thank you. So now I have the privilege of handing this program over to our next speaker. And when I think back over my past couple of years serving on school committee, some of the most fulfilling and meaningful work I've enjoyed being able to do has happened at the bargaining table with the Milton Educators Association. So I have deep respect and appreciation for our next speaker, and that's your current president of the MEA, Mr. Brendan Bond. Sorry. Aha. Thanks, everybody.
Good morning. Before I begin, the MEA would like to thank 4 groups of people. Without their work, we wouldn't be here today. That's our admin assistants, our custodial staff, our IT support, and our consolidated facilities. Thank you. I promise this will be short. I hope you all had a wonderful summer and got to relax and enjoy the things that make you happy. For those that are new to the district, welcome aboard and thank you for choosing Milton. To the veterans, welcome back. And for the ones in their final year, may you enjoy your final tour. One of the great things about being in education is each year brings a fresh start. Enjoy the new relationships and challenges that come from this. We all know it can be easy to get bogged down and overwhelmed when facing all the challenges a classroom has to offer. When issues arise, work together to find the best solutions. Collaborate with each other and do not hesitate to reach out if and when you need help. As always, focus on the present and be accountable for your role. I wish everyone the best of luck in the 23-24 season. If you all can open up your phones and check your MPS email, Charlene was able to send a link for our bylaws vote. If you vote yes, it will amend the bylaws that were sent out on the 13th. If you had questions, hopefully you reached out to Kevin Fender. If you vote no, the bylaws will not change at all. As you guys are opening that up and beginning to take that yes or no vote, we will send out the results of that result most likely by the end of the day today. Looking forward in the MEA news and what we have coming forward is obviously the bylaws vote now. We're going to start the process of negotiations this year. With that said, we're going to have a chair committee put in place to start the 2 committees for negotiations as well as officer and building reps votes because all seated positions are up for re-election this year. Go about one more minute. About 30 more seconds, 30 more seconds. All right, based on the silence, I'd assume everyone is finished. Thank you for that vote. Like, as we said, we'll get those results out to you guys by the end of the day. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out, and thank you guys very much for what it is you do. Next up, Dr. Garth McKinney.
Good morning. Last week, the district welcomed 40 new teachers. On Monday and Wednesday, we had new teacher orientation, presentations from many of the departments. They enjoyed lunch outside. Thank you to the food services department. Next one. And then on Tuesday, they attended a mentor session at Curry College. Thank you to Curry for hosting us and feeding them. Special thanks to our mentor leadership group for facilitating that day and making them feel so welcome. They're a great group. If you see any of these faces, give them coffee, give them chocolate, pick them up, help them out. I'm pleased to welcome new district staff to Milton. First, our new Director of Student Services, Danielle Wetmore. New Assistant Special Education Administrator, Andy Kavanaugh. New athletic director here at the high school, Michael Beerworth. This person will be here, there, and everywhere. Our new fine arts director, K-12, Karen Hughes. If you see this gentleman, be extra nice to him. He's the one who fixes everything. Director of Consolidated Facilities, Christopher Hayden. And super excited to welcome Milton's own Zakiya Jarrett as our new Director of DEIB. Next, we welcome the principal and assistant principal for the Cardinals at Collycott, Holly Concannon and Ellen Lohan.
Boo. Good morning, everybody. It is my pleasure to welcome our two new Unit A staff, Carrie Long and Jill Rasweiler, if you could stand in the back. I also want to say that I will be sharing Jill, although I've claimed her for myself on the slide. We will be sharing Jill with Cunningham as well as our new BCBA, so welcome to both of you. We also have several Unit D special educators working with us this year. Welcome, and if you would stand as I call your name, and we'll give you a big clap. And it's important to stand so your colleagues can see you. We're a big place, but we really want to make it small. So welcome to Marie Andrews, Joe Cronin, Callie Orsini, Yesenia Hayward, Dylan Lawler, and Dane Mateka. Also welcome our new Director of Community Schools, Sydney Sansamere. Welcome, Cardinals. It is my pleasure to welcome to the stage, after me, the Tucker principals. Come on up.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. William Carter. I am the interim principal of Tucker, and Caroline Morton. Thank you. All right. And this is Caroline Morton, our new assistant principal. So new to the Tucker family this year, we have Yushan Sandy Chang, Tanya Vargas, Carla Gonzalez Lynch, Kate Mahoney is now Kate Buckley. She just got married. Lisa Mackey and Erin Turner.
I apologize, missed on the first slide. This is the new principal of Tucker School, Dr. Will Carter. I'm sorry. Next up, Cunningham, come on up.
All right, good morning. As you can see, I brought Mr. Young up here, our assistant principal, and Mrs. Butler, who is our director of early childhood learning. And I'm gonna share the workload. As you know, Mrs. Butler hired the most staff this summer, so she's gonna read off the names of our new preschool staff members. But welcome to all the Cunningham new staff. Leon Achilles, if you could stand. Sarah Sakuda, who's new to us, but obviously she has a pen piece, right? Jillian Waswile, who Mrs. Concannon already mentioned, is our new BCBA. And also new to us from Collicott, Julia Biggiotti. And our new educational assistant, Carly Sobin.
Also new to Cunningham, she was with us last year for a little bit, but we want to welcome Chandler Lang. New as our music teacher, Emily McClellan. Also new to Cunningham, we have Maggie Leiden. Alexander Barker Hook. And my final name is Jacqueline Windman. So congratulations and welcome.
Welcome also to Olivia Graziano, Gina Galis, Samantha Pasquantonio, Ashley Yacarino, Mary Mancini, and also Nicole Diaz.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to Glover. Welcome all Cunningham staff, the largest staff, I believe, here. Sorry, welcome Pierce, Dr. Bill Fish.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's so good to see you all. On behalf of myself as
a Milton Public Schools educator, but also as a parent of 4 Milton Public Schools students. Just wishing you all the best for an unbelievable year. I think we're off to a really good start today, and I hope that the feelings you're having today can be sustained and carried through for the next 10 months or so. Unlike Dr. Redden, I'm happy to not have the distinction of the largest hiring class of the year, but I would like to introduce some of our new members of the Pierce faculty. First, Mr. Tom Lohr, grade 8 ELA. Will Cole, grade 6 ELA. Kelly Foster, grade 6 ELA. Jennifer Mackinoff, special educator. Megan McMahon, ABA instructional assistant. Kristen Lesser, administrative assistant. Dr. Matt Murray, assistant principal. Grace Finnegan, Spanish teacher. And Anna Marcello, special educator. Thank you, and this time I'll introduce Karen McDavitt.
All right, before I start, this is fun. If you drive a Subaru Outback license plate 2FF378, don't stand up right now because we're all going to look at you, but you need to move your car. Well, welcome back. All right, we've got an awesome team starting with Brittany Williams, our new team chair. Caroline Bly, new-ish, but new in her position as STEP paraprofessional. Also new-ish, Olivia Fitzgerald, special educator in 4th grade. New to our STEP team, Daniel Zelenkovsky. I really hope I got that right. I tried. New 2nd grade teacher, Kristen Kelly. And new 5th grade teacher, Becca Weincheck. I don't think I got that one right. Our new 4th grade teacher, Tara Bukau. Welcomed by her friends at Collycott. And new in our cafeteria, Jane Purnell and Kelly McCarthy. Yes, stand up. We love you. Welcome, everyone. And now it's Cahill's turn.
Welcome back, everyone. And John Redden, I'm pretty sure I have more hires than you. I got 2 slides instead of 1. So let's bring it on. So here we go. Oh, there's a lot of them. And I don't have it memorized. So I'd like to welcome to Milton High School, Elizabeth Burton, Melanie Chandler Blood, Caroline Ellis, Robert Hale, Josh Hammermesh, Jess Henderson, Marie Aud Hughes, Mackenzie Joyce. We're just going to keep clapping the whole time because I just have a lot of people. Tom Larson, Jake McDermott, Deborah Parks, Nicole Reed is back officially. She covered for us at the end of the year. Cherie Russo. Tom Shaw is back after taking a leave of absence. I have another slide. Here, keep going. Sherry Spicer. Anna Valdez. Jim Casford. Alyssa Almanis. Tim Putman. Laura Conaty joining us from Pierce Middle School, taking over for Kristen Lesser, who went to Pierce Middle School. Karen O'Leary, just hired this weekend. Joe Scarbo joining us from Pierce Middle School. Tessa May, new to our NEC program here at the high school. Mark Lanier, our new building sub. And Amaya Rogers, a new paraprofessional. And we're still hiring. So welcome to Milton High School and welcome back, everyone. And now I am going to give it back to Dr. Burrows, right?
We really don't need the other slide. It just says onward. And bylaws, and we already took care of the bylaws, so we're set with that. So I just want to kind of close out by honestly saying thank you to everyone. Again, it has been an incredible kind of lead up to today. We have a lot of work to do. We're going to hit some bumps, and we're going to figure it out. I feel so absolutely confident that we're going to do great work this year. I hope you all are feeling that too. I will be out and about throughout the school year in schools and classrooms, and as open and kind of engaged as possible. You can contact me anytime as well. So if you're ever kind of wondering about something, want to share something, want to come in, would love to sit down and talk with you or meet you at your school. We have a really exciting event following today. I mentioned earlier, I was thanking a number of people that have put it on. It's a little different than I think what we've experienced before. We're going to be going outside. You can go downstairs, or I think the band is going to be out over here. Is that right? Out that way, okay. So we're going to be going out that way. One of the reasons to wear casual stuff today, or spirit wear, is because we're going to be outside, building community, hanging out, getting to know each other. There's food, there are different events happening, spike ball, all sorts of things. So this is the start of coming together, building community, being together, and getting off on the right foot. So you can head out in that direction and have a great, great morning. See you all soon. Thank you.